Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse BATGIRL, the newest version of this body that has been reused before, this DC Classic BATGIRL. And it might be the best one that they've done. Is that gonna be enough? I don't know. They haven't had a whole lot of good Batgirls so far, but maybe it'll be okay. There's some good stuff about this figure, and there's some bad stuff. Is Todd finally hitting his stride after, how long has it been? Like 7 years now or something like that? I'm just guessing. I don't remember now. Is he finally hitting his stride now that he's losing the license, or is this just like what he has to do to get some more products out the door before it's too late? I don't know. Let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package. Good package as always, and there's not much new here. We have the new DC logo, and the rest is all basically the same. There's some artwork there that shows you what the character should look like, and I wouldn't include it with the figure that doesn't look like it, but that's what they've done. So if you like this packaging, yeah, it's good. It's got the figure front and center, nice big window, nice window at the top for some light to get in there, so it's displayable if you wanted to do that. Alright, let's set that aside and let's bring this out. This is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store. If you want to get one, I'll put a link in the description below. She stands just about 7 inches to the top of her noggin, give it a little bit more for the ears, and that's going to make her just about 17.5 centimeters, give or take. Much larger than Darwin because they are not in the same scale. Now let's do a question of the day. How many of you who were collecting McFarlane Toys, not those of you who never were, McFarlane Toys DC figures, have jumped ship at this point? Or are you still hanging on until it goes down? Let me know. I am, while I'm reviewing them. So I'm not keeping anything from DC, from Todd, that isn't Batman, and then maybe side characters like this one, maybe. But I'm still collecting them for now because I have to review them. Okay, let's get into the aesthetic on this figure. It doesn't really look much like this. I don't know who's sculpting Todd's figures, but it seems like they're AI. I don't think that's the case. But it's not the classic body. It's like the new 52 look. Sort of. It has panels and things in some places and then not in others. I think because it's using a mishmash of... is that a saying? Mishmash? Of parts from previous releases. The torso would be new unless it's from a different one that already had a cloth cape. I don't remember. But yeah, it's close enough for a McFarlane Toys figure. It's pretty good in terms of source accuracy. But then we have the head, which is like some kind of weird Cartoon Network version of the character. Anime? I don't know. That's why I said AI. It doesn't look like anybody would purposely do that for a classic, as it says on the box, classic version of this character. It just doesn't look the same at all. It's weird. It's super weird. It's very, very stylized. It's fine for what it is. I like the black paint on there, but even the shape of the cowl is a little bit weird. The hair is acceptable. That's fine, I guess, except they could have done it something like this so that it actually looked like something rather than a rolled up carpet or rug or like spaghetti. I don't know. It's weird. The whole thing's kind of weird and kind of good at the same time. I'm seeing so many people say, oh, Todd's making such good figures now. He's going out with a bang. Is it a bang? Is it more of a whimper? I think it's a whimper, personally, because almost everything he's releasing now is just repaints with new capes and maybe a new head. So that's a strange thing, too. But let's talk about the cape. It is metallic on the back and metallic on the front. We have black and blue, which is nice, but it's this stiffest material. You get a wire on either end, and it's nice that the wire is anchored, and it's not the best looking thing, clearly, but at least it is anchored in there, and it doesn't look absolutely terrible. But the cape itself being that material kind of sucks. It's not a good material to use. You can bring the cape around the front just a little bit, as you see there. Not too much more than that because of the way it's made. So there's that. And then being the stiff material, I guess it can be useful for poses like that. But if you want it to ever drape, it's not going to drape nicely other than if you want it to fold where it was folded in the box, which is probably your best option if you can get it to stay down. So yeah, it's just like, it's not enough. It's not good enough. It's not like he's going to be remembered, oh, he finally made really good figures at the end. No, it's like he finally made decent enough figures that aren't laughably bad in some cases. You guys have probably heard me mention the whole thing about Mattel, and I don't have high hopes for the DC stuff coming from Mattel once Todd's done. And I don't like Todd's figures either. I'm not saying one's necessarily going to be better than the other. I think Todd had a better chance of making collectible figures that are actually worth owning, and he squandered it. I think Mattel has almost no chance of making anything worthwhile. And I know all of you Motu people say, yeah, the Mattel Motu figures are pretty good nowadays. And I looked at them, it's like maybe they're better than previous Motu stuff, but they still look like Mattel product, which does not look high-end at all. At least these have sculpts sometimes, but most of the time they don't, and I think DC is in a real bad spot in terms of collectibles that aren't imports. So anyway, aesthetically speaking, it's fine, it's not good, it's weird, and I will give it a 7 if you can look past the weirdness, and if you can't, then a 6, and if you really hate the cape, then probably a 5. Because otherwise it's just bare plastic for the most part, other than where it's absolutely necessary to have paint. It's weird. As far as accessories go, you get no alternate hand, so you get one trigger finger hand and one weird trigger finger hand. You get a giant batarang, and then you get the goofiest looking, crappiest sculpted grapnel gun there ever was. It's so bad. You get the DC display stand, which is still garbage, and then you get the card, which makes the figure look even worse by a lot. I'm gonna go 1 out of 10 for accessories because they put something in the box. They get 1 point. Now, as far as articulation goes, the head being totally encumbered by that hair, you're not getting much going on there. So it's softer plastic than I might have expected, but it's still very, very stiff plastic and gets in the way completely. We already talked about the wired cape, so we can move that out of the way somewhat. It still wants to just rotate. I can't tell. I think maybe the wire goes all the way through, because that doesn't feel like it's moving from the back. Maybe it is. Either way, it doesn't matter. Shoulders work surprisingly well on this new body, so that's kind of good. Yeah, they work pretty nicely. That's all right. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbows. Are they still hideous, or did they do better elbows? These elbows are pretty passable, pretty standard looking elbows, so that's nice. And then for the wrist, you get a giant ball hinge, but it's about the same size as the wrist, so it's not super ugly or anything like that. It'll work. It'll be fine. For her torso, it goes side to side and back pretty well. Goes forward pretty well too. That's a nice diaphragm joint up here, and then down here we have another joint which leans back nicely, so she can lean back really well. For a Todd figure, that's pretty good. Leaning forward, better than average, so again, that's pretty good. And then side to side, that's really good. So her torso is maybe one of the best torsos out of McFarlane Toys DC license. So that is all right. You will get rotation out of both pieces. For the hips, by the way, the grays don't match. For the hips, going out to the side, no problem at all. Full splits, no nuggets. Thankfully, don't want nuggets on Batgirl, or anybody, really. You can bring the legs up pretty far, and you don't have to flex the diaper too much, so that's all right. Going back, yeah, you get to do it some, but not a whole lot. And then thigh swivel is minimal because they still haven't figured that out yet. All right, now we still have the proportioning issue of incredibly long lower legs, like no human's built like that ever without some kind of weird surgery or deformity, I guess, so that's not particularly good. Ankles are still heavily ratcheted, and the feet are a really weird shape. Functionality out of the joint is okay, but it's not good. And same thing with the toe joint here. It's technically like okay, but not very good. And we have black pins. Oh man. All right, so her articulation, it's fine. Like, it's gonna be another McFarlane figure that's maybe slightly better than the rest, but not better enough to call it a good figure. It's just good enough. I think I'll give her articulation I'll go 7.5. I'll give her an extra half because the torso is really nice, but it'll be okay. It'll be just good enough. And now it's time for the cake rating. It is a fine cake. It's nothing particularly good, but not anything to be super disappointed about. I'll give her a 7 out of 10. Shape is there, mass maybe not so much. All right, time for the final. Those of you who are new to my reviews for McFarlane Toys, you'll think that's weird. It's not. I do it because when they started, they made all the butts really weird, and so I gave them butt ratings, and so I'm going to continue that on the DC McFarlane figures until the line is dead. All right, time for the final rating on this figure. If you do certain poses with it and don't look at it too close, it looks like a really nice release. Is it though? Not really. There's all kinds of problems with it. There's all kinds of cheapness. There's all kinds of weirdness on top of the good things. It kind of balances out to a probably slightly better than average McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figure, but it is not on its own merits a great figure by any means. I will give it, for Todd, an 8 out of 10 if you don't count the weird stylization of the head, and that's probably being super generous. I don't know. There's enough about it that's good enough, but it's not a good figure. Only good in comparison to a lot of the weird crap that Todd's released in this line. So let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below, but that's going to be it for me. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.